join, is it? Okay, let me know when you guys can see my screen. So we started off with the definition of data warehouse. Okay, and data warehouse architecture. This is pretty important. Okay, whatever I teach is pretty important, both to crack your interview as well as on your job. Okay, so you guys have any doubts with respect to these layers, whichever we spoke? Yes, no. Quickly, yes or no, so that if someone has doubt, I can explain again. Otherwise, I'll move on to other topics. Okay, let's move on to other topics. Can you hear me? Can you all hear me? Okay. So let's talk about a dimensional data model. Okay. So these are the important concepts of data warehousing. Okay. DW is nothing but data warehouse. So in this, there are different concepts, several concepts. What's happening? People are quitting and joining. Okay, so there are several concepts with respect to data warehouse which I have listed here. Dimensional data model. So here we understand how the data model is designed. Okay, so I'll explain you. There are different type of schemas in over there. Then you have the slowly changing dimensions. You have the conceptual, logical, physical model, and the difference between the three. Okay, and we'll be talking through different things. Okay, so let's go to the dimensional data model. So in dimensional data model, okay, so this is commonly used in data warehousing system. So these there are different type of dimension modeling techniques. So what is a model basically? Okay, for new folks, a model is nothing but, say for example, you are building a house, right? So if you are building a house, you will definitely have a model plan given by some architect. Okay, for example, you have your windows here. Okay, and you have your garden space here. Okay, and you have your balconies here. Okay, and you have your main door somewhere this side. Okay, so you see before building it, right, you have a model being given to you. Okay, similarly in our data warehouse we build data models. Okay, I think I have shown you previously and also shared you the picture. You guys can remember the data model wherein there will be multiple tables. Okay, and holding multiple or different kinds of information. Okay, and they'll be interconnected to one another. Okay, like this. Okay, so this whole thing is called a model. Okay, this is how a model looks like. Okay, now to build this, right, there are different techniques. Okay, so one is the star schema, and another is the snowflake schema, and another is the galaxy schema. Before going there, right, I'll give you, you guys need to understand couple of things. So you need to understand fact and dimension. So if you understand fact and dimension, no, that means you are halfway through dimension this one, the data warehousing. Okay. So what is fact? What is dimension? I'll first give the definition of my own. So facts are nothing but measures. Okay. You can say facts are nothing but measures. What are measures? Measures is something that can be measured. Say for example, I can say measures are integers that impact the business. Okay. Facts means measures. Okay. So they contain integers. That means what are integers? Numbers. Okay. That impact the business. Dimension. So dimension means it holds descriptive information. So there are two types of tables in over there. So one you talk it as a fact table and another is a dimension table. So in fact table, facts inside fact table it holds facts as well as dimension keys, but I'll come to that later. But ideally inside inside fact table you hold facts. Facts, what is the meaning of facts? Facts are nothing but measures, something that can be measured. Okay. So facts are integers that impact the business. You can use this definition. Okay. Integers that impact the business. Okay. So integers means numbers. Okay. So I'll tell you the difference between fact and other numbers. Okay. Let's play a small exercise. To all my previous classes. Okay, let's play this. Facts and okay. First we'll identify fact. Okay. So let's talk about customer. So you have customer ID. Okay. This is one column. This is holding customer IDs like 1, 2, 3, 4, 3, 4, 5, 6. Just a sample data. Okay. And you have your SSN. Okay, SSN or in India, let's call it a Aadhaar number. So you have combination of numbers. Okay. Then you have your profits. Okay, in profits you have 100, 200, 300, and you have your loss minus 40, minus 6, minus 700, minus 200. Then you have your phone number. You have your phone number. I think you have this table. Now, can you guys identify what are facts in this kind of data inside this table? Can you try? See, I told you the definition of facts. Facts are nothing but integers that impact the business. Okay. Now I'll ask you one by one. Just say yes or no. So customer ID. Does these are integers? Okay. But does this impact the business? No. Okay. Why? Because this is just a static data. Okay, so this is not a fact. So this is a no. Aadhaar card. So in Aadhaar or SSN, do you think that impacts the business? Yes, no, no. Okay. Profit. Do you think this impacts the business? So these are integers. Do you think it impact the business? Yes. Loss. So these are numbers as well. Do you think it impacts? Yes, it impacts. So this is a phone number. Do you think it impacts the business? No. So that's information relating to a particular customer. Okay. So out of these five columns, you have out of five columns you have. So only these two are facts. Okay. Others are not facts, but you can call them as dimensions. Okay. Are you understanding? Because this is very important. Not many understand even after 10 years of experience in IT. Okay. So let me play one more. Okay. I'll give you one more table that you can discuss. Okay. Okay. Now, can you guys guess? Is age a fact? No. Why? That does not impact the business. Okay, this is the information containing, it's related to the customer, okay, or some other person, and it is not directly impacting the business anyway. It doesn't matter what is the age of a particular customer to that person. Okay, store ID. Okay, though these are integers, this is static data and it contains this gives some information about the store. Correct. So not impacting the business. So this is a not a fact. How about sales? Yes. Sales is a fact. Why? Because the numbers based on increasing or decreasing, this will definitely impact the business. What is profit percent? Yes, it is a fact. How about phone number? Awesome. You guys got it, no? In the first quote set. I'm glad. So this is what fact is about. Now let's go to dimensions. Okay. Very important, okay. Even in interview, they'll give two things, two columns like this, okay. Say for example, they'll confuse you. Okay, you have your customer ID, you have your profit or sales. They'll ask you which is fact. Okay, something like this things will happen just to check your basics. So dimension. So let's think about a store. Okay, so let's create a store dimension. So whenever you think of store, what information you would actually thing to have store ID, store name, okay, store location, okay, should be okay. So in store ID you have, so for example, this number and no number, okay. Store name, you can call it anything. One, yes, two. Store location, you can say Bangalore and say Hyderabad, okay. So see here, though these are integers, but this is not impacting the business. Okay, so this actually contains some information. Okay, so this remains static and this does not change. Okay, so these tables or data, okay, that contains some descriptive information of a particular entity, right? That is called a dimension. So dimensions hold descriptive data and facts hold measures. Okay, let's talk about a customer dimension. Now let's see customer dimension. So in customer dimension, what all the things you think you could have? You can have the customer ID, you have the customer name, okay, you can have the customer age, you can have his address, you can have his phone number. Okay, so all this information, okay, is giving all these columns or fields are giving information with respect to a customer. Okay, and to customer name is A, B, age is 12, sorry, it's very kid, 12, 35, 42, USA, Chicago, consider on Canadian, Toronto. Okay, just, right? Now you guys are understanding, no? What is a fact, what is a dimension? I'll take it as a yes. Okay. So now that you understand what are facts, what are dimensions, okay. So now these two are pretty important for us to actually build a data model. Okay. So this is a fact table and these two are the dimension tables. Okay. But in real time, there will be lot of facts and lot of dimension tables. Okay. That you can identify using the data model diagram that will be given to you. Okay. Now I give you a example of this one, schema example. This one, copper this one. Okay, a star schema is a schema or okay. So star schema in data dimensional modeling, what happens is there are few techniques that are followed to build a data model. One of the technique is star schema. So in star schema, you see there is a fact that is stored at the center or located at the center, and all these dimension tables are radially connected to this fact table. Okay, so they are connected to each other, which represent a star shape, and hence this is called star schema. So when you apply this to our example, whatever we gave, okay. So what did we try to do? So what is the fact table? So this is the fact table. Okay. So this is the fact table. So this fact table will sit in the center. Okay. And this dimension tables will radially surround this. Okay. Can be many, for example. Just for example, I'm taking the same thing. Otherwise, okay. Then these will be connected to each other. For example, you have the store ID connection, store ID. That's it. And this customer ID should be present here ideally as part of our example. Let's put that back. Okay. I'm sorry. Okay. See the connection between the fact and dimension tables are through the common keys. Okay. So these are called dimension keys. Why? Because this is part of the dimension table customer. So this is what dimension key. So this is part of the this one. And age usually it won't be there. Okay, just ignore it. Okay, this usually won't be there inside fact table. Just for example, I gave you phone number. Yeah, if you need, you can have it, but ideally it won't be there. So what fact table contains is dimension keys as well as measures. Okay, so let me put a proper fact table example, not to get confused. One for you. Okay. Okay, let's take this example because all the columns are already present there. I don't have to write too much. So you see here, this is a fact table. You see the yellow highlighted ones. Okay. So these are nothing but your dimension keys. So dimension keys are not local to the fact table and they are part of the dimension tables. So that's the customer ID. So this is a dimension key. So dimension key, customer ID is here. Okay. And you have the date timestamp. So this particular dimension ID key is here. You have the staff dimension, you have the staff ID. Okay, so this is the dimension key. You have the product ID, and this is the dimension key. Got it? So in fact table, it contains what? Fact table is a combination of dimension keys as well as facts. Okay, so this looks like a telecom domain table. Okay, so you have the call type ID, call length. Okay, so these two are actually measures which are impacting the business. So based on the call length, the number of like the bills will be generated. Okay, based on the minutes. Okay, call type ID, say maybe it can be your domestic call, it can be your international call. Okay, so based on that also there are charges that will be impacted. Okay, you guys got this, no? So this is, yeah, so this is an example of star schema. You see where the fact table sits in the middle and the dimension tables are radially connected to this single fact table. Okay, this is nothing but your star schema. Okay. Now let's talk about Snowflake schema. Snowflake schema, right? It's nothing but it's an extension of your one of the dimensions. So, for example, this time dimension, right? It can be broken down into lot of other dimensions as well. Okay. Here we see this example is not great, but ideally this time dimension it can be broken down into all of these smaller dimensions. Okay. So I'll give you an example. What is this snowflake schema? So be what do I say? Familiarize yourself with all these stuff. Okay, that's when it is possible to get it. Because when things are very new, right, you wouldn't understand it. Okay, this is an example of snowflake schema. So here you see there is one sales fact table, okay, and there are multiple dimension tables, and these dimension tables are again split into fewer dimension tables, okay, and you have the sales fact table. So this is the fact table. Inside this fact table there are different dimension keys, okay. Before that, you guys should understand what are dimension table. As I mentioned, you see here, this is a dimension table. Branch is a dimension table. Item is a dimension table. Supplier is again a dimension table. Location is again a dimension table. City is a dimension table. Okay, you guys understood? And this, the whatever sits here, it's a fact table. Inside fact table, you will have the dimension keys, which is nothing but the primary keys of this. Okay, primary keys are the keys that uniquely identify a record. I'll teach you later. For now, think that this is time key, not part of this table, but it is part of this time dimension. Item key, where is the item key? It is part of this dimension. Branch key, okay, it is part of this dimension. Okay, location is part of this dimension, and these are four are dimension keys. And what are other three? These are nothing but facts. You see here, all these three highlighted in pink are measures. So, units sold, dollars sold, average sales. So all these are measures. Okay. Only difference is this item. Okay, is again, this item dimension is again split into supplier dimension. Okay, and location dimension can further be split into city dimension. Okay, you see how things are getting divided even more hierarchically. Okay, earlier in star schema, okay, star schema, you would ideally have only this. Okay, you would have only this, but these two will not be, would have not been present. Okay, these two, this still here it is called a star schema. Okay, now when you further split this for more information, then this forms the snowflake schema. So this is split from its parent table. Okay, so these two splits now all together forms a snowflake schema. Snowflake schema is an extension of star schema. Okay, where you will get more granular information. What is granularity? It is the lowest level of information that you can get. Say for example, you have an org chart. Okay, in org chart there are different positions or different designations. You have your manager, CEO, you have your manager, sorry, CEO, senior manager, manager, staff. Okay, so there are different levels in over there, and for every level you get a different kind of data. Okay, so those are the granular levels. Okay, I'll tell you about that, but for now, just understand what is star schema and snowflake schema. Understood, guys? Okay. There's one more thing called galaxy schema, which is not mentioned here. So galaxy schema, okay, I'll tell you. So what happens in star schema? How many fact and how many tables are there in star schema? So in star schema, one fact table and one fact and many dimensions. Okay. In Snowflake, it is extension of star schema. It has one fact table and it has many dimension tables. Okay, but what is the difference? These dimension tables are split into sub tables again, smaller tables. Okay, in Galaxy schema, it is a hybrid model. Okay, it is a combination of star plus snowflake. Okay, So ideally, multiple fact tables are connected to multiple dimension tables. Understood? It is very important and very easy. Okay, this just have to sit in your head. You should not forget. Do you want me to show an example of galaxy schema? Give me a minute. So it's called fact constellation as well. Wait, I'll give you this first. So this is a galaxy schema. So here you see how there are, so this is one fact table, that is sales fact table, and there is one more table, fact table, it is shipping fact table. You see how these two tables are interconnected with multiple dimensions. So this item dimension is connected to the sales fact table, and also this item key is here. Okay, it is connected here, and this time dimension is again connected to sales as well as shipping. Okay, and this branch is not connected. Branch is connected to only sales. Location is connected to shipping table. Okay, and shipper is connected to this shipping fact table, and this location is again, it was divided into shipper as well. Okay, you understood, right? So here you have multiple fact tables connected to multiple dimension tables. This is example of galaxy schema or fact constellations. So you have multiple fact tables, share dimension tables viewed as collection of stars. Therefore, it's called galaxy schema. Understood, guys? So today we spoke about three types of schemas. Okay, I'll stop here because it should not overhead you. I would overwhelm.